last one needs to be done again.
Well, people want to know this. Ready?
No, this is so stupid. I don't want to embarrass
I'll
myself.
do it.
Hi everyone, I'm Mike.
Hi. I'm Claire.
Start that again.
No, that's fine.
Hi guys, my name's Mike.
I'm Claire.
And we're the owners of Wolf Poly. Well, today we're going to be answering some questions that you guys put together earlier this week for National Entrepreneurs Day. So Jessica asked, what inspired us to create Wolf Poly?
Well, initially we started selling on eBay. So to cut a long story short, we were looking at ways of funding our charity. So myself and Mike set up a charity in Cambodia. We set up a school. We ran a number of family projects. And in order to fund those projects, we started selling dresses on eBay. And that really took off. So from that, we set up on social media. And then we moved on to our own website. And yeah, that kind of brings us to where we are today.
Yep.
My question.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
How do I know if there is a market for the business I want to run?
Well, I think for anyone who is a budding entrepreneur, the first thing you want to do is research, and you can do that just on Google. So you need to find out who are the competitors in that area that you're looking to move into. Find out what they sell, what their prices are like, work out what you're going to be offering the marketplace that's different and unique. What are your unique selling points effectively? And yeah, try and find a niche, something that you're passionate about, basically.
Yeah, you have to be passionate.
The next question was, how do we find the right manufacturers and suppliers?
I would say that it's very important to meet your suppliers in person. I think there comes a point where you have to take a trip to China or, depending on wherever your supplier is based. But I would probably say trade shows.
Yeah, trade shows are definitely a good
trade
one.
shows because obviously trade shows attract suppliers from all over the world, all over that country, as in China.
Yeah, so the big one in China is the Canton Fair.
And it just allows you to meet a range of suppliers face to face, which I just think is really, really important. You can ask the right questions, you can see samples, and it just gets the relationship off to a good start, really, when you meet in person. So
it's really important that you build trust from day one with the manufacturers or your suppliers. And if you don't, it can be difficult. So to communicate across time zones and things. So just you going out there and speaking to them in person is going to be really beneficial.
Okay, so how do you create a business plan?
Well, let's be basic about this. There's not really one right or wrong way to create a business plan. I think ultimately what you just need to do is be sure of what you're trying to achieve. So if that is selling a product, then you need to be clear on what your margins are going to be, how much you're going to be buying it for, how much you're going to be selling for, who's your target customer, like how would you describe them, what do you think they're going to be looking for when they come to you. So yeah, don't worry too much about coming up with like a massive big document. You don't need to do this. You can start it very simple with just basic fundamentals.
And a lot of it will probably change as you go, and you'll adjust.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
yeah.
Okay. So best initial investment would be what? Influencers, ads, pop-ups?
Well, I think the first thing is that your marketing strategy should be based on the times. So for us right now, it's obviously social media. And I still think that social media is probably the most cost-effective way to market your product. Of course, not all products translate well on social media. So, if you can't do that, then try word of mouth is really probably the second most important. So it's instead of having customers, try and create raving fans. So you get people who just love your company so much that when they buy from you, they go and tell all their friends or their family members, and those people then come to you through referrals.
And you get those type of raving fans. You get those raving fans from good quality products, good customer service, really looking after your customers, really caring about the products that, you're delivering.
Yeah.
And just offering a really great experience.
Yeah. Max asked, what is the number one advice we would give to a new business?
I would say to expect a lot of challenges and to know that any successful business or person that you see out there has going to have had to overcome a lot of challenges. It's part of the journey.
Yeah.
And some setbacks are bigger than others. So some of them will, they'll really,
knock you down.
yeah.
Demotivate
When we
you.
first started, to give you an example, we had a supplier steal £30,000 from
Which
us,
was like all of
which
our
was
money.
all of our money. So there were a lot of times where you'll probably, you'll want to quit, or you'll question whether this is the right path for you, or you have what it takes. But just to remember that every single person in business goes through these obstacles.
And the key is just not to quit. Every successful person hasn't quit. If you get what I'm saying.
And the question before about how we ensure our quality is so high, we've got to that point because we've made so many mistakes along the way, and we've had so many different problems, and we've had so many challenges.
Yeah.
So I think everything that happens, every challenge that happens, is there to to give you a lesson. So. Yeah. Is it my time?
Yep.
Okay. What are your 3 main tips for running a successful business through social media?
Well, I think we always say the number 1 tip is consistency. So you really need to be consistent with whatever it is you're doing. If that's on social media, then it's about consistent posting of high quality content.
And I think as well that even if your content's, getting, a smaller number of likes or a small number of engagement, just to remember that everybody starts that way.
Yeah.
Nobody starts with 1 million followers, and we all start from 0. So don't be disheartened.
Yeah. Second one I would say is engage with your audience. So it's really important that you're actually in the comments and in the DMs replying to people as quick as you can. Really, obviously, get some sleep. Don't stay up all night and drive yourself crazy. But when you're posting, you should be online responding to people.
Yeah, even just a simple emoji reply, I think, just to acknowledge. And that builds a community. So, and it's just, I think from a customer's perspective, it's just nice to be acknowledged and to know that, you're a brand that cares about your customers and responds. And it's really easy to do. It's really cheap to do.
Yeah.
That's your second tip. What's your third?
I think would be to create a community of customers, influencers, whatever it is, but ensuring that they're all on brand, and you're not switching one moment from somebody who's off brand to someone who's on brand, or you're not sort of confused on your own social media as to what it is you're actually trying to achieve as a company, because that's going to confuse your audience, right? So everything needs to be
just sticking with your market. And so if you see another brand do something really well, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work well for you.
Yeah.
And I think Opoly has done that quite well.
Yeah.
We kind of stick with our target market.
Lola asked, how do we make our products such high quality?
Honestly, just from being in this industry and doing what we do for a long time. I think over the years, we've just got better and better at what we do. We now have a very strong sample and production team, and any design that's put forward is sampled numerous times, so sometimes up to even 10 times, until we get it right. So we'll constantly change the fabrics, we'll constantly change the fits, and we won't put anything into production until it's pretty much perfect. And
our item, like the price we pay is also higher, so we don't shirk on quality, or quality fabrics. We pay, we ensure that all the workers who manufacture our garments are well paid, and consequently they're also quite highly skilled, and that helps to retain the quality in Opoly products.
But I would say that when we initially started, it didn't start like that. So that takes time to kind of get to that point. When we first started Opoly, we had a lot of issues with quality and things that we weren't happy about. And there were a lot of products that we'd sampled or we'd made that we didn't want to put online because they didn't quite meet the threshold. So it is a bit of experience, I would say.
Yeah, and finding the right suppliers, as we already covered as well.
Yeah.
Lily asked, how do we stand out from other clothing businesses?
I would say that we're not afraid to try something new. I would say that we're constantly raising the bar, especially our marketing team, and when it comes to our creativity.
Photography.
Yeah, we're not afraid to try something new. And I just think, like, when you look at other brands' social media, I think Opoly is very distinguishable. We're often a leader, not a follower. And I said that before, that I think it's really important when you're setting up a business that you don't just follow the crowd, that you're looking for your own market and your own brand identity. And that's going to involve you thinking up new ideas and trying something new. And that's, I think, has really worked for us. And sometimes we try new things and it doesn't work, but that's okay, because then and then you can go back to the drawing board. Sometimes you try something new, and you don't have any evidence that it works because maybe nobody else has done it, and it works.
Yeah, and we put a lot of effort into our customer retention.
Yeah, we
and
do. Yeah,
our clothing. The quality is obviously number one for us. We spend a lot of time developing our products.
Yeah. Trying new things. If something works, great, you can build on that. And if something doesn't work, then okay, you move on. But always try new things. Don't follow the crowd. So, what did you look for when hiring your marketing team? And do you have any marketing tips in general?
So I think we talked about always hiring A-grade people and high performance individuals. I think the second thing is probably that we really focus on getting good creatives into the team.
Yeah, I think what's really important when you're setting up your own business that I don't know if you're just starting with just yourself, but when you do start to hire staff, that you get the right people in for the right roles. It will get to a point where you can't do everything yourself, so you will rely on other people, whether that's a marketing team or someone to do your customer service. So getting the right people in is key.
And getting people into the team who represent your target customer, I think, is really important as well.
Yeah, or who are able to adapt to your target customer. Yeah. And any marketing tips in general?
I think in business, you always have to take risks, but the important thing is to not blow all your budget in one campaign, for example, and to spread it out and try different things. I think we were talking earlier about how a lot of people jump straight into paid advertising rather than focusing on organic.
I think you have to get the organic content correct first. We actually started paid ads really late, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't think we did even in our first year.
And even influencer marketing, we did a lot of free influencer marketing initially. Yeah. It wasn't until later on that when we felt like we'd mastered that we moved into paid ads and paid influencer marketing. And we see so many businesses just set up and just completely move into paid ads and without even really kind of focusing on the content itself. So I would say to really develop the organic content first.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah.
Victoria asked what our biggest achievement is.
On a personal level, I would say it's our charity work. Because if it wasn't for Polly and Bowen Tea and where we are today, then we wouldn't be able to afford to help so many people. That's
really important to us. We're not driven by money goals. So I think the charity is a really, really big achievement for us.
Yeah, and I think when you're starting a business again, that it's really important that you have a reason why, you have a strong pull, because there are a lot of challenges and there are a lot of setbacks. So you really have to know what your reason is. And I think for us, our reason from the beginning was always our charity. So it's really amazing to look at that and to see where we are today and to see how many people we help. So yeah, that's obviously a result of a lot of hard work. And also I would say it's kind of surreal for me when I go home and I'm going out, and maybe for you too, we see so many girls wearing Polly.
It's quite cool to see that, actually, when you're like, we remember that when it was just a drawing on a piece of paper, and here it is, like, people wearing it.
Or we remember it from the very beginning when we were packaging all the items ourselves, and I had these little IKEA shelves in my brother's bedroom. So to go from that to where we are now, and to go on a night out and to see so many people wear Polly, I think is surreal, but it's also amazing.
Molly's asked, do we plan to expand one day, for example, with beauty products?
We have, well, not necessarily with beauty products, but we have a lot of ideas in the pipeline. This year for us, the big move was we launched Bowen Tea, our new brand Bowen Tea. So yeah, it's really exciting times, but I would never say never to beauty products, but yeah.
Leah's asked, what was your favorite Polly collection?
Does Bowen Tea count?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'd probably say the Bowen Tea ribbed collection. That's something that I personally would wear every day, so probably that. And maybe the Christmas collection, is that coming soon? as well. It has some really nice pieces.
Yeah.
So where do you begin when you want to start a business you're passionate about?
It's really important to push yourself. So one of your most valuable resources is your time, right? And everyone's got time, but so if you don't have money, then you invest your time, learn a new skill, read a business book. There's going to be ways that you can overcome any difficulty.
Yeah, but get started.
Yeah.
Take action, get started, make your first move, and figure out the rest as you go. Yeah, I'd say what we said before is that we've always just done things.
Yeah.
Whenever we have an idea, we discuss it quickly, of course, but then we just make a move and we just do things. And I think that's been very much our journey, is that whenever we've had a new idea or whenever, we've launched, say, for example, Bow and Tea, we very quickly made a move and got started
It's
on
about
that.
making decisions. Business is about making decisions.
Yeah, and
so.
you'll make some mistakes along the way, but it's all a learning curve. And as long as you keep moving and you keep making decisions and you're taking action, I think the rest just
should fall into place.
Yeah, it should. Yeah. So thank you so much for all your questions. I hope we've only obviously had limited time today, but I hope it's been helpful.
Yeah, we've really enjoyed answering your questions. So thanks very much, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Perfect. Don't get the wave. Okay.
Why didn't you do bye-bye then?
Olivia's gonna have fun doing an uncut scene.